Hi, and welcome to Types of Physical Evidence. There are a ton of types of evidence. Physical evidence is the stuff that will give us the most accurate information as compared to testimonial evidence, which has a lot of flaws with it. One of the first types I want to talk about is called transient evidence. Transient evidence is just that. It is something that is temporary. It is something that moves around. It's something that changes very easily. This type of evidence is usually observed by the first officer on the scene, and they will take note of it. These are things like smells or odors, temperature, and then imprints and indentations. So the imprints and indentations fall into if it's in something that is pliable. So if it's tire marks on the sand, if it's footprints in mud, if it's teeth marks in an apple, for instance, or a soft piece of cheese. Temperature-wise, you can tell a lot. For instance, the car hood. If a person says that they didn't drive their car, but the hood is hot, it means that they obviously were driving their car. The hood of their car wouldn't get abnormally warm if it was just sitting in a parked spot. Smell-wise, you can tell a lot if a person was there based on their perfume or cigarettes, smoke. If there's something burning, if it smells like gas, if it smells like urine or fresh urine at that. So that's transient evidence. Pattern evidence is anything that produces a pattern. So it's produced by direct contact between a person and an object or between two objects. Like in the picture, it's produced between a tire and the dirt. They mostly form some sort of imprint, striations or striping, and then fractures and deposits. These can have all sorts of patterns. You have, like I said, tire marks. You have the position of furniture in a house. So you can tell if the pattern has changed. You can tell if, stuff was originally in one location and had been tossed to another place. You can tell blood spatter. That is a pattern because every time you have a force on blood, it will act in a similar manner depending on what the force is. And then obviously tool marks, body positions, modus operandi. So modus operandi is the pattern in which a killer kills. So if the person only kills blonde people, if they only kill people that are homeless, that becomes a pattern. Okay? Conditional evidence is produced by a specific event or action happening. It's important in crime scene reconstruction. So if the garage door is open, it means that they were getting ready to leave or they were attacked before they could shut their garage. If the windows are down, if the windows are up in the car, if the door is unlocked or locked, or if windows are locked or unlocked. So it helps give us a sequential order of events. So, like I said, the lights, smoke, fire, locations of things, vehicles have a lot of conditional evidence. The body can have conditional evidence, and then also the scene itself. Transfer evidence is produced by contact between persons and objects, or persons and persons, or objects and objects. The top three, examples would be hair, fibers, and pollen. Hair transfers quite often. If you go over to a friend's house that has a dog or a cat, you usually leave with part of their dog or their cat on you. And then pollen is another one. It's very easily transferable. Associative evidence links a victim with a suspect, or it links a suspect with a specific item. Typically, this will be some sort of personal belonging like their wallet or their driver's license or the keys, something that wouldn't be in the suspect's possession normally, and that associates them with the crime. We do classify evidence by nature. So biological is anything that you can test, usually DNA with, but it's anything that is found in the biological world. So insects fall into that, bacteria, blood, semen, saliva, all of that. Chemically speaking, we analyze fibers, gunpowder, minerals, narcotics or drugs, paint, plastics, all sorts of stuff. The physical evidence is stuff that is physically left behind. So handwriting, tire marks, footprints, shoe prints, fingerprints, all of the prints. And then miscellaneous speaking wise, you have laundry marks. You also have printer marks. So they're marks that are left behind by the machine. So the laundry marks would be marks left behind by the washer or the dryer. Printer marks are marks that are left behind by the printer. So as it prints out a piece of paper, it might have ink on a wheel, so it leaves a slash of ink on the paper. So those are all of our types of evidence. Thank you for listening.